call to order the meeting of Ayer Planning Board for July 13th, 2017. And we shall get right into business with a needed motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, I will throw in some update notes which will apply to each subject, but generally we're on track with what's printed. I've got some new information as of today that is relative to the board as far as going forward. For example, and I'm looking at Robert or Sue, I need someone to jot down the minutes of the meeting, given that we have a vacancy in our...
No, you just...
We currently have a vacancy in our planning board administrator
I
position.
just started. Well, you know what? You jot them down, I'll jot them down, you jot them down.
Okay, we'll put it together. So anyway, in the very near future, you're going to see a planning board with a new planning board administrator.
I will take it.
And very shortly, I'm assured we can put together, we're in the process of looking to professional planners going forward. And as always, any of you citizens who are interested, by all means contact me or the board as to your interest going forward. I deal with just about everybody in town as my brain trust, so that we do the right thing here in planning for you. Okay? Cool. That said, all in favor on the agenda?
Thank you. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, unanimous. I do have two members who, due to employment conflict, may come in later, but that's the nature of the beast when we have elected officials who really work for a living, unlike me, who just shows up. Don't laugh, Steve.
I'm smiling.
Okay, thank you very much. First item of business, Riley Jane Farm. Come on down. Riley Jane Farm. Calvin, are you speaking, or do you have representative? Or
We're just trying to get the...
you want to slide up a chair to
yeah,
the
I'm
table?
just
you
trying to
think?
think of that big word.
Grab a mic.
You want a Surrey reduction?
Yeah,
Is this it?
we want to get some lots released because we have some buyers that are ready to go. And we got 16 lots that are tied up in the covenances. And roughly, $374,000 of work has already been done, give or take a couple bucks.
Right.
And we just want to get 5 lots released for tonight.
Okay. We've all looked at this before. As you know, CJ has come in before us, and we have the format under which we need to do that. Now, the role of the planning board here is to, not to understate the matter, but to simply vote to approve, and we have legal form approval as to form on this matter. The planning board needs to vote to basically release 5 lots. That needs to be the motion. And then that'll go forward through administrative support with Mr. Pombrand, our town administrator, and legal. And we'll fill in the numbers as that bond reduction occurs financially for you. Okay, is that acceptable? Having said that, I've also got a document from yesterday from Ayer DPW, which is a key player in this. And were you able to see the document, my board members?
I've read it previously, Calvin. I think you're fine.
So,
I didn't receive a packet.
I
yeah,
came through an email.
let me show you
I
the,
checked my email a couple hours ago.
yeah, well, it was on the planning
Every
board,
couple.
email.
It
So
was-
at any rate, that's what needed to happen. We needed to have DPW financially reduce the cost, which they've done. We needed legal to clearly state this was a vehicle that was a basis for approval, which they've done. And the town administrator and the board of selectmen are in support of this.
If I may, Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask one question. I don't think it's going to slow the train. It's
Certainly.
going to slow the roll down.
Yep.
It refers to 5 lots to be released. It doesn't have the lots specific.
Yeah, the lots would be...
Right.
They're not specifically
Non-specific.
outlined, but I don't think it matters to our actions. Correct?
Okay.
Right, we
Okay.
just need to reduce 5
Okay.
lots.
May I have that back home, please? So, you looking for a motion? Mr. Chair,
If you
for a
would,
motion? I'd like to move I'd like to remove the recommendation of reducing the surety for the Riley Jane Farm subdivision, $374,519.55 based on the work completed, as drawn up by Mark Wetzel. And subsequent to this reduction, 5 lots will be released from the covenant.
Need a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you very much.
We do our homework. We do our homework.
So for that motion, I'll watch the tape. Okay. Perform the motion.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kelly.
Thanks, Calvin.
Thanks very much, everybody. We'll see you.
Global Montello. Are they Mr. Montello and or? No.
Good evening.
This is Mr. Global this evening.
Mr. Global.
No, he saw me driving in a Subaru. I'm not Mr. Global. Good evening. I'm Scott Fenton. I'm Deputy General Counsel at Global Partners.
Yes, Scott, how are you?
Good. Yourself?
Good.
I'm here tonight to ask for a 1-year extension to the planning board's approval that was granted 2 years ago. You have that authority under your bylaw.
If you could address the microphone for those at home.
Sorry. You have the authority to, I'm here tonight to ask for a 1-year extension to the approval of our site plan that this board approved 2 years ago, a little more than 2 years ago. You have the authority to grant the extension under your bylaws if we haven't commenced construction for good cause. So I was here tonight to demonstrate what our cause is, why we haven't commenced construction on that project at 15 Littleton Road.
That hit it right on the head, that one did. What is good cause? We have all your material.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll cut
And I
right
do,
through it.
I'll share with you, just so the board, I don't know if you have it.
I didn't
Here's
get
a
it.
copy of the,
Well, this is from 2 years ago.
yeah, this is the original plan that the board
Yeah.
approved.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've got that.
Okay, good. Thanks.
So, just as further background, last year I was in front of the ZBA to get a 1-year extension on our special permit for the drive-through. And the reason for that was the drive-through, the ZBA had granted it a year prior. So the way construction wasn't gonna work, I was trying to time them sequentially, so I didn't have a staggering.
Yeah.
So since last year, we as a company have gone through some growth. And what we're looking at now, Global Partners is a Fortune 200 company. We have about 700 convenience stores, gas stations from Vermont to Maryland. You just haven't heard of us. You've heard of Honeydew, you've heard of Cumberland Farms. So what we're doing as a company, this is the plan that you've approved in the past. This is a color rendering, nice
This is
scape.
again the property adjacent
At 15
to
Littleton Road,
Jarvis.
yes.
Right, yeah.
So this is a site you've approved before, All Town. We're also Extra Mart. If you've seen any Extra Marts, that's us also. What we're doing now is we're going through a new marketing. We're going to do this is our Store of the Future,
For the same site.
same site.
Okay.
So I understand.
And this is the
if this is-
reduced, if I might, because I tend to cut right to the chase.
Yep.
This is for the reduced footprint that you submitted on the second submission?
Correct,
Okay, good.
correct. That's absolutely
Okay.
correct. So this
That
is
was 2 years ago.
I'm
that was
sorry?
to yeah.
The
as-
first one was larger, this one.
The first one was
a little bit
larger and it
smaller.
requested variances, and those were denied. So we came back in with a larger parcel, smaller footprint.
Right,
And last year when I was in front of the ZBA, the members of the ZBA let me know that they had some concerns regarding the site location. So I heard that from the ZBA. So we went back and we're looking at what our alternatives are for this site, other sites in the surrounding towns that we can, that the board would be happy with. But I did want to demonstrate to our cause, we're going through some growth where we want to re-image the company. This would be,
okay.
The store of the
Can you
future?
share that perhaps visually with the...
Sure.
In the room?
so this is what the town approved previously. This is a nightscape, obviously, but you have the all-town store. We're also Extra Mart. It's a mobile branded station. Global on the diesel, mobile on the gasoline. The new scheme would be this. You have in the inside, is beautiful, frankly.
Mhm.
It doesn't remind you of a convenience store at all. We're doing a project now in Pittsfield. We're doing a project now down in Plymouth where the boards have approved this design. So this will be our store of the future that we're going with. So we do need, so to do this as a company took a lot of meetings. So we are behind our construction schedule for this site.
Okay.
Now, I understand the town has, I have to show good cause.
Right.
I'm trying, sorry, go ahead.
So where's the drive-through and what is it for?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Got it.
That, and it's shown on that plan. You'll see that the drive-through is a Dunkin'
I'm gonna
Donuts.
guess, if I may, this is the elevation facing
That's
the main road.
correct.
So drive-through is gonna come around, look
Yes.
around the buildings like before. Over to the
Correct.
right, there's gonna be the diesel.
Correct.
With the 240, see what I forget the parking distance was.
Yes.
There's a lineup for trucks. Trucks will also exit going around the building.
Correct.
Okay.
So we have varying sizes, 3,500, 4,000, 4,500, depending on how big the lot is, on what our store would look like. Now, for us to go forward, if the board were to deny my request tonight, would mean that before November, I'd have to go out and start site work. It wouldn't be on this building because it's not ready yet. It would be on the prior building that is on the back that the board already approved, so it wouldn't be coming back in front of the board. So I'd have to demonstrate in that situation, I'd have to start construction activities. So I'd have to degrub, start site work, pull utilities, which is really, frankly, it would be a waste of time and money. I'd rather go through with the right project here, which I think is a beautiful convenience store. When you see, I should have brought the inside renderings, what we're doing now with the walls and everything else. So it's not your Cumbies, it's not, anything that you've seen before. There is an outdoor seating area. If bylaws permit, we have an outdoor seating area. In Pittsfield, the outdoor seating area had some, I'm gonna call them faux windows. They asked that inside those window panes, that the high school students be able to demonstrate their artwork. So those will be slipped in, and rotated in and out. So really trying to do a better job in the community to make it more pleasing versus a convenience store that people, typically don't go in. If anyone's traveled down south, you see Royal Farms, you see the Wawa. People eat there. I mean, those are huge stores. That's not what you have up here. But we're trying to be more of a community feel versus standard, brick and mortar type building.
This revision will address the previous stormwater drainage problem as well?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And we've worked through with the state. We worked through with Mr. Jarvis with an easement to deal with that stormwater issue.
Okay.
We've closed one of the access points once we start construction, so the access points are one less on Jarvis's property.
This, I believe, for those in the room who have been around a while, is the site directly across from Old Town Village, I want to say, where the little red grocery store used to be.
Yeah. Yes.
Kind of on a rise, a little bit of a rise as you go up 110. Okay. Questions by the board, if any?
I think mine's procedural. I don't know if we can get it answered right now.
Okay.
And that is,
This is simply toward granting the extension.
granting extension, exactly. With the new building, does the process come back to us about the building or not?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I won't ask about elevation right now, as long as you're running
Yeah.
35 feet.
Yes, I'm not even, if this is going forward, this particular one, I'm back in front of you because it's substantially different than what we had
Well, that's what I
before.
wanted to check on, exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
No,
I think
I'd
for
have
me,
to
you've
go.
answered the question good cause. You know, we got your
Thank you.
correspondence and of course the glaring question. So, further questions by the board?
This is coming back.
Oh, yeah.
It would come back, if I'm going to build
Yeah,
this
we're
building on
granting
that
the
site,
extension
I
to the
absolutely
timeline
need
is
to
all.
go
Yep.
back to you.
Granting a
Basically
one-year
saying-
extension
basically
to the
saying to us-
site plan process.
The process with because I actually caught the tail end of this when I started on the board a few years ago. So the approval that we've done, set aside, going back, you're asking for an extension in order to come back to us within the.
That's
if I
correct.
Yeah, you're
say
extending the
correctly.
timeline, is all.
Yep, okay.
That's correct.
Okay, do I have a motion to extend the timeline 1 year? on Global Montello as presented.
What would be the ending date? Would it be as of today, or would it be?
No, it would be the 1-year anniversary of the issuance.
March 24th, I believe?
It was November 6th, 2015.
No, so it would be until November 6th of 2018?
Correct.
Okay, so the motion would be, move to grant Global Montillo an extension until November, I'm sorry, the date again?
The 6th, November 6th,
November
2015. And there's a copy of the original attached.
Move to grant a 1-year extension ending on November 6th, 2018 to Global Montillo for the project on Littleton Road.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, second. Any further discussion? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstain? Okay. Motion passes 2 with 1 abstention. Understandable on the abstention.
Thank you.
See you in November, no.
I'll be in front of
Before
I have to go in front of the ZBA next week.
Okay, take care, good luck.
Thank you.
Looks promising. Okay, Mark Sada. Come on down. Hello again, Neil, welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah. If you would, for the group, introduce yourself once more.
My name, oh, go ahead, Mark.
I'm Mark Seda, owner of 41 East Main Street, and we have a project that we'd like to put before you. It's had some revisions since we were last here, and Neil has some plans that he'll go through in detail after our approval of the special permit from the Board of Health.
Okay, if I might set the background for the board and all the people in the room. The background actually goes back to, I want to say, 2009, with the initial effort in this matter. And over time, it's morphed to the present where Board of Health has recently granted your permit. I take it by the new plans that you have addressed the zoning commissioner's issue with the setback. And given that, we're...
Yes, the parking you're referring
Right.
to. Yes.
Right.
yes.
So, having said that, Neil?
Neil?
Yep.
Gorman.
Thank you.
And I'm from David E. Ross Associates, the engineering firm that has been working for Mr. Sada. So the plan that is here on the front now was the plan that we brought to you back in the winter time of this past year, where we were discussing the zoning question of parking. And that we would be parking against zoning regulations because a car would be, we had 1-car garages proposed in the new buildings. And 1 car would be spaced outside the garage. We went to the Zoning Board of Appeals to ask their opinion on whether or not a variance, but we proposed a variance. We got the sense during the meeting that that wasn't going to pass, therefore we withdrew without prejudice the variance request and went back to the drawing board to revise the plans.
Right.
So, the revised plan now proposes the 2 new, I'll give a quick overview of the site. So the property is this L-shaped property, which is about 0.6 acres, a little more than 0.6 acres. We have an existing 3-unit dwelling here, and then behind there is 2 standalone garage structures. So there's the existing conditions of the site. Existing dwelling, existing garage, and a second existing garage at that location. What we are proposing is to modify internally the existing structure from a 3-unit to a 2-unit.
Okay.
We're proposing 2 more 2-unit dwellings facing Pond Street with driveways. We are removing the smaller of the 2 garages behind the existing dwelling. We are modifying the existing driveway for the existing dwelling, making it smaller. That was part of the process with the Board of Health, being that they're in the site is located within the aquifer Protection District. The driveways proposed are facing Pond Street, not East Main Street. All 4 of these units, 2 units per structure, have a 2-car garage. So the dwelling units were reduced from an original size of 44 by 48 feet to 44 by 40, so they were made
Okay.
smaller. And they were also moved back from Pond Street by 5 feet. And again, each unit is going to have a 2-car garage, so that satisfies the zoning question of where the 2 cars required for each unit will park. They're going to be parked inside now. The parking spaces for the existing structure, we don't have any zoning requirement, restrictions on that in the sense that we meet all the zoning requirements where they are parked away from property lines and away from structures as required by your bylaws. The infiltration for all the impervious area that is being newly added, which went through the Aquifer Protection District bylaw with the Board of Health, and they have granted us a special permit, is the runoff from the roofs will be collected in trenches along the foundations and then directed to Cultec chamber infiltration systems out on the property. The 2 driveways that are being proposed for the new structures are permeable paver driveways, which has then an infiltration system below
Recharge.
to help recharge and collect that runoff from the impervious driveway. So there isn't any runoff going on to Pond Street or East Main Street. Everything is staying on site. The previous plan had it sheet flowing into a rain garden. So the rain garden has been removed, replaced with the permeable paver system.
Elevations are under 35 feet?
Yes.
Okay.
And the modified driveway, we're incorporating 2 grass swales in that over in that area, so the driveways will be surface flowed to those grass swales, again, to collect any runoff from the driveways. The smaller existing garage, as we mentioned, which is located right here, is being removed. We are adding some stairs off of the porch on this side for the 2nd floor emergency access to improve that dwelling situation there.
Maintenance plan has been addressed, I believe, at our last meeting, correct?
And there's been a complete operation and maintenance plan, which also went through the review and modification process with the Board of Health.
Good.
They've done a great job in modifying that. So we even went to the extent with the Board of Health, they asked what if cars were parking in the permeable paver driveways? Is the driveway still going to have the capacity to handle a storm?
Okay.
And we've done the calculations and provided that, which has been reviewed and approved. The capacity is, for a 100-year storm will still handle the amount of rainflow. So we believe, it's in our opinion, that we've met all the zoning requirements for the plan. We've met the Board of Health requirements for the special permit. Therefore, because we're here before you because we have 8 or more parking spaces. That was what the one trigger.
Right.
So the parking spaces are now being resolved.
Right.
I think it's.
Well, to be fair, we also have an option under the planning board to require as a result of a multi-unit dwelling. But that said, again, we're going all the way back to 2009 with this, so you certainly have adjusted accordingly over the years.
We believe.
Well, having said all of that, I am certainly satisfied to the degree where I could accept a motion to approve the site for 41 East Main as presented by Mark Sater and David Ross and Associates. Questions?
Taking public input?
Well, I could, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'm a resident of Whitcomb Avenue, which is a little dead-end street. Pond Street comes down,
Okay,
Fletcher goes left, and then Whitcomb is a dead end that jogs off to the right.
yes, okay,
So Pond Street is my primary way to get out onto Main Street
Okay.
to come into town.
okay.
I'm wondering if the planning board has taken a look at this site. Pond Street is very, very narrow. It's not posted no parking. It's also one of the two primary means of egress and ingress to the elderly housing.
Right.
So my concerns have to do with several things. One is visibility, because of those buildings being so close to Main Street, being able to see beyond them to safely pull out onto Main.
What's your setback again from,
It meets the zoning requirements.
I realized,
Yeah,
what is the footage setback?
I believe it's 20.
Okay,
Yeah, the building here is 20.
right, okay, so continue, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And that street, I'd like to add, when you're trying to pull out at a peak time, you've already got several cars there lined up trying to
Right,
turn.
right,
The other thing that I would like to point out is that although there are parking spaces in each one of these units,
mhm,
if you look at the dimensions, these are built on a slab, so the garage is maybe theoretically able to accept two cars, but you would probably have to be a better driver than me to park two side by side. And that means you really have no storage area. So people will be parked on the permeable paver surface
Well,
of the driveway.
again, that's a little bit outside of our purview on the planning board side. I certainly would think the developer looked at that as a marketing risk, if indeed it is. So.
Well, is it a zoning issue or not? I mean,
Not on the, as long as the access and egress, I believe on a driveway is 24 feet to the street, we're good.
But you can't park within 20 feet of
No.
the building.
As to a driveway for access to the property, which they have. So again, dimensionally, they have met the criterion of the current bylaw, so.
Okay, no, I thought there was also a requirement that you can't park within 20 feet of the structure, which I think you would be doing if you were parked in the driveway. No, I don't know what you mean. Public.
It's
we're
10 feet.
We're talking
Mr. Chairman.
parking on
10
private
feet.
property versus parking on a
Okay.
public way.
Okay, and I guess my last comment really has to do with the fact that I'm wondering if the planning board has walked this site and taken a look at this site and how this is going to really alter the character of this neighborhood and one of the main entrance into the town of Ayer coming from the east. And I just don't think that it's really in character with the rest of the neighborhood. It's very dense. It's going to make things very difficult on Pond Street. And I'm not saying that that violates any ordinance or bylaw.
Right.
I'm just saying that as a planning board, I think that's something that should be
Right.
taken into consideration.
Well, you are correct, and indeed, I know for me, who has come back to the board after 20 years, I did consider that. I did walk the site, and I would say to Mark Sater, this is probably the last time you'll see a planning board that I'm on approve this type of project because of same reasons. Although East Main Street is not a historic district, it has all of the elements to be one, and we'll move forward in that direction. I do know, having talked to my board members, and I don't want to speak for them, I certainly invite them to make their own comment, but it's entirely likely you'll not see another project like this get approved by this board. I do know that our brother-in-arms here, who is currently an economic director, but civil planner qualified, feels the same way. I don't want to give you the floor, Alan, but I do take your point that again, going
Yeah,
forward,
exactly.
we're going to be more strict. But again, keep in mind, this process began almost 10 years ago, 8, 9 years ago. So now, also know that we are currently in the process of revising our bylaws and once we get the bylaw done this year, which we hope to do, we're going to revise our operational procedures and operational administrative guidance to that end. And you're going to see a board that is going to require more and more items which we can without exceeding and abusing the bylaw. So
I know.
we're certainly aware. and
I respect your comments, just,
Take your comments.
I mean, even though this first came before the board in 2009,
Right.
this is 2017, and that doesn't, the date that it first came before the board shouldn't prevent us from doing the right thing now.
Yeah,
For the
true,
town.
true. But keep in mind that at this point, I personally think I'd be running the risk of being arbitrary and capricious if I denied it. Because I really don't have
I think that.
grounds, if you will, because it's within the bylaw realm. So we realized that, so we said, well, let's change the bylaw going forward. Now,
And
once we do
I
that,
understand that this meeting, because it was not seeking a variance, there was no requirement to notify abutters. However, abutters have been extremely vocal about this project.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm just a little disappointed that the board isn't taking into consideration the views of the neighborhood who are going to have to live with this project
Keep in
for the rest
mind,
of our lives.
keep in mind what I said. We have, and we did take it into consideration, but the way to remedy that situation going forward is to basically change the bylaw, which we're going to do this year. Further comments?
If the town adopts.
Right, it's up to town meeting
It's up to town meeting to adopt.
adopt the changes. that-
I'm also on a butter, and I got one notice about this going on. I'm at 49 East Main Street, right on Pond. I'm at the corner of East Main Street and Pond.
Right.
And this is, I got one certified letter that I missed. I came on the wrong day for the meeting a few weeks, 2 months ago, something like that, over the winter.
Okay.
And I have a lot of concerns over this. One, you got 2 driveway cuts right on Pond Street. You got all these cars coming in and out of there. They did such a beautiful job redoing that road. And if this was known at 2009, maybe it could have been addressed then to maybe a one-way street or something. There's no way that the fire department can get around to get down to Pond Street if we're gonna have cars possibly parked on the street. It is now, my driveway's right there, and we can't get in and out. And now you're gonna have 4 more cars possibly coming out? I mean, it's dangerous. You've got all these elderly people in our housing down the end of the street, and they can barely make it out the road, down the road to begin with. Never mind, this is such a narrow road, but you watch them at the stop sign, never mind when the plows come because they put the nice curbs in. There's no way to push the snow. I mean, it's a safety hazard, especially for the elderly people, and unfortunately, none of them are able to, make any of these meetings. I have a lot of other things I would have brought up prior, but I mean, this is too many buildings on one lot. These are too close together. I mean, you're gonna go 35, the zone is 34 and a half feet, something like that high. So now that they're making driveways in, so it's 35 feet from the ground level up. Now, with only 20 feet from the curb, you're not gonna be able to see around the corner to make it. I mean, you could barely see around my house to make a right or to make a left. And my God, if my parents were down in the elderly housing and the ambulance needed to get there and they can't do it, that's a problem. The other street that he's on Oak Street, that was made over to a one-way. So that has alleviated that problem, but Pond Street is not. So there's a big traffic, a safety issue. I just don't know how it has gone this far. I mean, getting 3 buildings on one lot, that close together, 35 feet tall, I mean, taking down some of the historic trees over near the garage, because somebody's landscaping company assesses the tree and says that the tree is sick. Has anyone else came in and said, hey, when you own the landscaping company that assesses the arborist, that pays the arborist that works for them, of course that's what they're gonna come up with. So now we've got one lot of property with 3 points of access, 1 on one street, 2 on the other. We're supposed to have so many feet on a setback. So because I thought that existing house, the back end of the house, is the setback of the lot. So that existing house, I would assume, would take precedence that when they have 10 feet on the side of this house, that's the rear of the lot. We're not, you can't change the lot all around. I mean, if this is their house, this is the rear of the lot. So why would this not be the setback? You got 10 feet.
Yeah.
And then if you turn them this way, well, of course, I just don't think enough people in town know what's going to go on. All of a sudden, they're going to come home one day, they're going to see all these buildings up, and Granny and Grandpa are not going to make the corner. The fire department's going to have trouble, and even if there's a fire, I mean, you get 10 feet in between these buildings. I mean, it's just,
Every day.
I just, if I had known, I've owned the house next door a long time, and I just got one certified letter that I came on the wrong day, and since then, I'm here. I'm just flabbergasted. I know some of the other abutters, some of them, I don't know. This is pretty sad for the town. We're gonna change the landscape. I own other stuff on East Main Street. It's an absolute beautiful street. He asked for, stairs coming off this old, this 3-unit building. Do you know what's there now? An aluminum ladder, 24-foot aluminum ladder. If you drive by, you're welcome to see that. Maybe that meets town code for a means of egress, maybe. The reason why they want to go down from a 3-unit to a 2-unit, so they don't have to put sprinkler systems in. Because once you add, because now we're at the property, it'll trigger sprinkler systems.
Actually, the original footprint exceeded the setback requirements, which is why they had to reduce. But your points are well taken.
Please, I
But at
hope
this
that
point,
they're well
it's
taken.
dimensionally fits. So again, I have to go back and remind you that we do need to change the bylaw at town meeting, and we will be changing our tables in certain A1, A2 districts that will make the town a better place than it used to
A
be.
little bit too late for this one, though.
I'm afraid so. Neil, did you have a comment?
Just wanted to make comment, he's talking about a rear property line. Because this property is uniquely shaped in the sense that it has frontage on 3 lots, then that line to the rear is actually a side, not the
Right.
rear.
Right.
There's nowhere to put the snow for the plowing for the town road. There's no, they're gonna they have 10 feet from the side of their building to the other person's property
Can I
line.
finish
You
what I
know, we
was
went over,
talking?
yeah, you're right. We went over the
I
permeable
finish what I was saying?
driveway.
Oh, I thought you
standards.
finished, I'm sorry. Okay.
The permeable, I was here for that one, and as built, it's an extremely expensive plan, and I had a civil engineer review it, and basically, we gotta see if he actually does what that plan says. And there's, the building inspector is busy, Wenzel at DPW, he's busy, but that is an extremely expensive plan if you follow it. I have the plans for it, it's extremely expensive, so it'd be very interesting to see. It's not like this is an owner occupied, where we're gonna see them again. This is gonna be too bad for the town that, this has changed, go down East Main Street and boom.
Okay, again, your comments are well noted, and the building inspector has worked this diligently, and currently, the applicant has met all of the building commissioner's requirements as well, so,
And DPW, if I may.
and DPW.
Fire.
Yes,
I promise I'll only make one more.
okay.
One more, actually, it's not a comment, it's a request. I'm wondering if, because there are 8 additional vehicles now that we're looking at coming in and out of this every day, and this gentleman is absolutely correct about the safety issue and the narrowness of the street,
Right.
would the planning board entertain requiring at least a traffic study or a request to, I don't know, is it the DPW or the police department that makes the street one way or posts it no parking? It seems that to just approve this without doing those pieces of it.
Actually, the fire department has approved the plan, and so has the police, so this has all been done before. And again, I can't unring the bell. I really have to fall back again and tell you that I've got to change the bylaw to make things better. It's really weird.
Never too late to do the right thing.
I would mention in its finality that this is going to be monitored very closely by the building commissioner. You must know that going forward. So I need a commitment from David Ross and Mark Sater saying that they'll comply with all of the requirements that you've been set forth with through DPW. I know we've agreed in writing to all this,
Right.
but believe me, the interest in the town is going to require our building commissioner to monitor this progress very closely. So
Understood.
fail not, I would say. Having said that, I'd like to close the public hearing that was established a long time ago on this project of 41 East Main. Need a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye? Was that an aye?
Yes.
Okay, unanimous? Okay, having said that, I need a motion to approve 41 East Main as currently presented.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I don't feel real comfortable. I didn't get a copy of the new plan. I'm a little embarrassed because it seems like audience members have it. And I
Okay.
came down and there wasn't one here. And I've been checking my emails every couple hours.
Well, it's
But
the
it
entire
does seem
thing.
like
with-
there
with-
really are numerous
Sandy.
changes.
Yeah.
And
May I
I realize
just-
you're new to the board as
Oh,
well.
I can't speak anymore, I'm sorry. But
I'll second then for administrative. Okay, motion then seconded. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
abstain.
Abstain. Motion passes, 2 approvals with 1 abstention. Thank you very much.
thank you. Thank you. I just gotta present this to them on the next hearing. I'll write up.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be a couple.
Yeah.
'48 Central Avenue, Rob Oliva.
I'm here for Rob.
Wow, who knew?
More handsome, right? He sent me along with a letter, Mr. Chairman. I can present this to you. It says, on behalf of our client, the Home Scout LLC, we respectfully request that the board continue the site review for 48 Central Ave until August meeting date. At this time, the applicant is working with an architect to prepare the building plans and elevations for the proposed structure, and unfortunately, they're not ready for tonight's meeting.
Okay, could I get copies of that?
You can have that, yep.
That's too bad, because I thought the only issue was a matter of complying with the fire department. But,
There were some other issues if I recall. We did ask for elevations.
well, do you know if he's complied with everything from DPW?
I believe so. He was talking with DPW
Right.
in recent days, and I think everything's resolved there, but they didn't have elevations yet for
Yeah.
the architect,
Yeah.
so.
Where we, if I'm not,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken, I mean,
Okay, that's fair. And in all fairness, I'll have my other 2 board members hopefully for August 3rd.
And last time I think we did mention too, since the buildings are so tall, if there was going to be landscaping provided perhaps on the side, because it looks to be very tall and very close to the
Okay.
abutters.
Yeah. And the back fence too was an issue.
I
Okay.
believe the fence was included in the, I did read through the materials that came
Okay.
to us, and I believe it's in there. But I
Are you the agent going forward?
No, Rob just couldn't be here tonight.
Okay.
He knew I was coming, so
All right.
for the benefit of the client, it was.
move to accept the request?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I have a question if I could.
Yes.
I have some issues with my driveway abutting that property.
Okay, I need just to identify for the record,
Paul Seeley,
Yeah.
52 Central Ave.
and I think, okay,
I
so
saw
you're
the-
an abutter.
I saw the plans and there's some land issues with my driveway. So who can I discuss that with before?
This man right here,
Is he? is
he said
now
he's
a
an
good time,
agent,
or-
so.
I'm just curious, you say the land issues, are they?
Well, the plans that I saw, apparently I know part of my driveway is on the property, which I got permission from the original owner of the property. And I just wanted to know what changes they're gonna make there.
Okay. Can you address his questions and get him to Rob and get him an answer?
I'll get him to Rob. Again, I'm not as familiar
Right.
with the plan and the site, and I don't have the copy unfortunately with me, so,
Right.
you can certainly contact,
Yeah, if you would give
Contact our office.
Paul Rob's number and
Yeah.
contact, and is that adequate, Paul?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, good, good. Okay.
And who's
All right,
he?
thank you, Neil.
I'll give you the information.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You said you got permission from the previous owner, was that in writing?
No, I don't, no.
Did I call the vote?
No.
I think I need to call.
No
the
writing. It's been 20 years.
vote. We have a motion to approve the request, and I believe I need to call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Neil.
Extension. Yeah,
Okay, moving down the agenda, Judy Barrett will be here August 3rd. And that's all I have to say about that. I can speak to the issue, but I'd rather not. I'd rather let Judy bring us up to date completely with her PowerPoint presentation. And again, this is a very important item to the town where we get the bylaw update at this current town meeting. So we'll put her on the agenda for August 3rd, and I hope to have a full board then as well. And we will continue toward a September 7th likely public hearing. And the public hearing will then bring us to town meeting October 23rd. Okay? Any questions on Judy Barrett and bylaw update? Yes,
I had a question.
Ken Diskin, come on down.
That's it, I can do it from here.
Or not, as long as the people at home can hear you. like.
Oh, okay. My question was, the site plan review section 3.5, do you folks...
Chapter 47?
It's your proposed final draft, March of 2007, Ayer zoning bylaw. So the site plan review is now section 3.5 on the new proposed
Yes.
zoning bylaw. And my question was, do you anticipate, do you feel that you're comfortable at this point in time that there will not be any changes to the wording in section 3.5? That's basically my question. Or do you think it's still going to be reviewed in the next couple of meetings?
It's going to be reviewed for sure. Once we get the bylaw done, then we'll be revisiting our quote site plan procedures. For example, Mass General Law no longer requires a public hearing under site plan review. So that's going to go away. But that's just one item of,
You have that covered here?
so I would say to you, the answer to your question is
It's still in progress.
it's in progress.
Okay. Thank you.
Excuse
me?
I'm curious, do you have specific questions about it?
I like it the way it is. I was just hoping it doesn't get changed anymore.
I'm glad I got you to say that on TV, Ken.
Yeah, we're not throwing everything out, but we want to get
Understand the way it's written right now.
the bylaw updated and then review, because again, some of our site plan review processes go back to 2000. That's 17 years ago, so I mean,
I was just hoping that...
You like the way
done.
it is in its entirety?
I like that section, the way it's written. I was hoping it stayed.
and I know because I helped write them, so.
Yeah. No, I have some notes in the margins, but yeah, by and large, that's just, okay.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, we're on to,
Mr. Chair, may I ask one question?
okay, go
I
ahead.
don't want to open up a can of worms,
Okay.
but in my other life, the one that actually sends me a paycheck every now and again, we're dealing with short-term rentals.
Okay,
It's become a large issue. And I don't recall, I was starting looking through this again, without stopping the bus, is it appropriate, is there something that needs to be in zoning for that? Or is it, or maybe I can ask the town administrator, I'm not put you on the spot, Robert, but Airbnb, short-term rentals, things like that. Is it appropriate that it end up in here, or is it appropriate that it end up somewhere else in the community?
yeah, it's not within the realm of planning. That gets into more housing.
It's as, I think it's, I mean, and maybe Alan can say, as a zoning professional, maybe you can ask.
Yep.
Let me voice my concern. We have some really valuable places here. I read an article today that was sent to me about Crested Butte. We may not be there yet, but Crested Butte has an employment problem because there's nowhere to live.
I'm terribly sorry to interrupt. Should we set up upstairs? We have 6 public hearings tonight. We were in here tonight for 7. Are you guys done at 7?
Um,
You gonna be a while?
About 30 minutes, yeah.
Okay. Would you please direct anyone who comes in for our meeting upstairs?
Thanks, Bill. Crested Butte is next to a ski area, and the challenge there is folks who live in Crested Butte can't live there now because outside investors will come in and purchase the inexpensive housing and turn it into short-term rentals when they're not using it for their vacations. I know it's a big leap, but we've got Sandy Pond. What happens to our resource, a Massachusetts Great Pond, when I'm going to estimate 35 or 40 homes that abut it turn into 35 or 40 short-term rentals every weekend? I was recently paddling the pond and counted 18 people staying for the weekend in one of the units. So I would just want to put that out there and wonder if there's where that might be.
There are, I think, zoning regulations that comes under zoning, and I think it's part of the residential
I think it is.
business, and I know
Yeah.
other towns have it, and we really have a growing list of things that once we bring our bylaws up to code, that we need to start modernizing,
Yeah.
including this.
Yeah,
solar, the marijuana.
owner-occupied issues and that sort of thing. yeah.
I mean, enforcement's totally different, but I'd like to actually give, something. I mean, there are other issues we have with zoning where we can't enforce because it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to put it out there.
Okay.
And only because it's kind of new. I'm seriously, for those of you who don't know, I manage condominium complexes. And short-term rentals, I'm constantly chasing it. And they do generate issues, costs, and inconveniences.
Okay, good
So
point.
I just thought I'd bring that up.
No, that's okay, yeah.
And
good point.
so thank you for letting me put that into the comments.
Okay, I indicated next working group being September 14th. I suspect on the agenda, August 3rd and September 7th will have been completed. And I want to leave that September 14th as a future perspective because it'll give us a chance to finalize anything before town meeting. So item next, site plan review on Geronimo Properties. Steve Mulaney and Company.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. I'm Steve Mulaney here representing Geronimo Properties, and joining me is Laura O'Kane from Geronimo Properties.
Laura, welcome.
Nice to meet you all.
Laura, would you please spell your name for me?
LAURA O'Kane.
K-A-N-E. Okay. Steve kind of mumbled that part. We've got his name from before somewhere.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, been here once or twice. We were before the board 2 years ago regarding this property. Property at 22 Fitchburg Road is where the Shop and Save supermarket is located. And that property used to be a Hannaford supermarket, and when Shop and Save decided to come and take over that property, Geronimo Properties decided to add a vestibule area and improve the facade of the property. Our proposal before you this evening is to add a couple more uses to the property. As you may have seen looking at the submittal materials, we included some photographs, including some aerial photographs. The Shop and Save facade that was added 2 years ago appears on the second page of the cover letter, which dressed up the property. The supermarket building was built in 1958 as Tom's Food World, and then eventually in the 1970s, Victory Supermarket took it over. Hannaford purchased Victory in 2004, and Hannaford operated it until 2015. Shop and Save has been doing very well since it reopened, and now the thought is to add a small strip along the westerly side of the Shop and Save building and add 2 pad sites. One would be a single retailer proposed to be an advanced auto parts store, and the other would be a drive-through business proposed to be Gourmet Donuts. As you can see, looking at the photograph on the third page of the submittal, the Advanced Auto Building, certainly, the Advanced Auto Building is a national chain, and it's got pretty standard architecture that it uses. And we're showing you a picture of a facility on West Boylston Street in Worcester that would be located here. And the Gourmet Donuts would use architecture that would complement the existing building as well, as would the addition. And we've got some elevation drawings here to share with you. This would be the Advanced Auto, so it's very similar to what you're looking at here. This is facing the shopping plaza.
A windowless, faceless.
Windowless, faceless.
Good place to store engine or motor oil and plastic bottles.
This would be the addition onto the, I'm sorry, this would be the standalone drive-through use. So we're facing the plaza here, the drive-through is along here. And it's, as you can see from the photograph, it's using complementary architectural features.
So this would fit, this
is facing,
this elevation faces the center of the parking lot.
Facing the center of the parking
faces
lot.
the Advanced Auto across
Faces
the
the
way.
Advanced Auto.
This is the elevation that will face the
supermarket.
and the turret goes all the way around.
Right, goes all the way around. This is facing Fitchburg Road.
Got it.
And then the drive-through is around the easterly side of the building. And then this shows the face of the building facing the parking lot, facing Advanced Auto.
Was that Greek revival? What am I looking at?
Come on.
Not quite, not quite.
What do you call them? So they Doric Ionic?
Doric?
Come on, here we go.
Corinthian, Corinthian.
Corinthian
Yeah.
Doric Ionic.
It's called neo-tradition.
And then lastly,
Early American Legion?
lastly, we have the elevation for the small retail strip addition to the supermarket building, which would have occupancy for 4 individual small retailers.
Hey, let's see square footage in this, roughly about 1,000 feet?
Yeah, they're 1248, and these are 1141, 1161 on the last one.
Do you mind just, excuse me, hey, Mr. Economic Developer?
Yes, sir.
You got anybody planning for 1,200 square foot?
As a matter of fact, I was just having this conversation with someone. The hottest properties now for retail
Yeah.
stuff are 1,000, 1,200 square foot, because you're looking at, and this is what good local entrepreneurs, startup companies, they're looking for that good manageable space you can get in, you have a good idea, you know, without a mountain money, get in, do something cool. So actually, yeah, these are the great dynamic spaces now, these good small ones. It's supposed to have, you know, a 3,000 square only, so this is, I think this is,
Yeah, Geronimo Properties operates several retail plazas in the area, including Park Hill Plaza in Fitchburg, Marshall's Mall, John Appleseed Plazas in Leominster, Twin City Plaza on the Fitchburg-Leominster line. And so they have an excellent track record with recruiting and retaining tenants for spaces of that size.
Can we get Shop and Save repaved as a matter of an adjacent lot?
That's actually part of the total plan.
Very good.
Absolutely.
A little bit of landscaping, maybe?
Yep, let me
No,
show you.
landscaping.
Yeah, a lot of landscaping. Let me show you this from a photograph.
Hey, you
From
know,
a photographic standpoint. Right now, it's all,
After what we didn't do with the other one, we're gonna do with this
We
one.
will, yeah.
the property right now, you have 3.5 acres of pavement and rooftop over here, and then 1 acre of woodland and brushland.
Okay.
So this is going to introduce some landscaping with some front islands along the front of the parking rows to break up the view from Fitchburg Road. The area closest to the Ayer Motor Inn would have a landscape strip added right along the entire property line and some landscaping all around the drive-through use. And we would be retaining vegetation along the perimeter of the building here. The existing trees would be taken down to accommodate stormwater drainage. In those areas, we're proposing a stormwater basin to the rear here and a small stormwater basin to the front. It would be very similar to the stormwater basin directly across the street at Anderson Funeral Home, where the pavement sheet flows into it's basically like a small swale right in front of the property.
So this is currently...
This is all currently woods and brush.
Got it. And now I'm feeling with the size. I mean,
Yeah.
driving in here, it feels like it's huge anyway. It's the surface of
Yeah, and if you look at that second photo on the third page on the bottom, this picture was taken on a Tuesday, May 10th. You see the humongous parking lot and the number of vehicles in it. And unfortunately, this harkens back to a time when the property probably served a lot more customers than it does today. Going back to when Fort Devens was operating, yes, some people went to the commissary, but people also came out to Ayer to do some of their grocery shopping. And also, frankly, the zoning, as we've talked about with Alan, requires an excessive number of parking spaces per square foot of building area. It's not
It's
necessarily...
obsolete now.
Yeah.
How many bikes can park on the kidding? Hey, you get my view attention. So you got a tall order. You're gonna landscape it. The funeral home does a phenomenal job of keeping their property really looking nice. What's gonna happen there?
It'll be really looking nice.
We're gonna.
Are you familiar with our other properties?
I'm not familiar with other properties at all, but I'm familiar with
We
landscape.
do.
I'm familiar with landscape plans and landscape maintenance plans.
Okay.
Because I live by those.
You
So
know how to do
yeah, there's a landscape maintenance plan involved in.
Yes.
Submitted with this.
Yeah, we have a...
And I don't want
among
you
our
to be,
plan
you know,
sheets here.
keeping up with the Joneses is one thing. Beating them at their own game, you're never going to do it. I mean, one of the things about funeral homes, if they're well run, is they're beautiful and impeccably done. You know, because
We have an erosion and sedimentation control sheet for construction. But we also have landscaping specifications with details for plantings, and we spell out requirements for landscaping, grassing, hydroseeding, and maintenance and modifications. On the plan.
And I'll say the reason, folks, and this is so greatly appreciated in terms of not only a landscape design plan, but a landscape maintenance plan required for site plan approval. And I'll tell you right now, unfortunately, your neighbors across the street, and forgive me saying this, but it's just at our Family Dollar store. The Family Dollar is greatly valued in the community. It's a wonderful asset, but if you go look at their landscaping in front of the Family Dollar now on Fitchburg Road, it has been completely and utterly abandoned. Gravel, pieces of broken cars, parts, the trees that were planted there are all dead and knocked over, the grass is grown, and it's an absolute disgrace to our community. I've spoken with the regional manager, and all of a sudden so we can't, this is simply unacceptable to the town of Ayer, so we're gonna begin requiring as part of site plan review, not only a landscape design plan, but a landscape maintenance plan. And if you violate that and you don't do it in Ayer, you're going to hear about it because Ayer is going to become a much more aesthetically pleasing place. Not because it's good to be pretty, which is good in itself, but because it's critical to our business.
all boats rise to the tide. You take care of your property, people are happy to go in.
Mhm.
They're happy, you know.
Yeah, it's good for business.
You know, I gotta tell
Even
you.
on the inside?
Yes, many times. I do it. I spend a lot of my income there. It's a
I mean, I
fantastic
could
store.
fit with Family Dollar.
Yes.
Yeah, you go in the shop and it's like, wow, you walk out, you're in an arid place. It's just, you know, it's desolate. And I totally
And that's
dislike
not fair
the
to our friend
tent
Mike
structure
Celeste
next
across
door.
the street, who's doing such a great job with the shop and saving all.
Yeah,
So
and we wish to let you know
bravo
also
to you folks.
that the drive-through use does require a special permit from the ZBA, and we are scheduled to open a hearing with the ZBA next Wednesday, the 19th.
Okay, I saw that.
All of the work is outside of any wetland or wetland buffer area, so there's no action needed by the Conservation Commission.
And further down the road, you get some really flooded areas there, but
We're in that safe zone in between.
way back when you used to work down in that.
Yes, I used to. And we did provide a traffic impact statement as part of the submittal as required by the
Well, that's a
bylaw.
state road, so.
Yeah.
Yep, and in general, we would be increasing traffic as you would expect. But the
Does
generator-
the total area require a stormwater runoff permit?
No, we are not discharging any new water into the state highway
Okay.
system. We're containing all of the runoff from
On
the
site?
improvements on
Okay.
site.
Okay, that's, I believe the figure is 40,000 or something.
So the dimensions of the parking area will remain pretty much the same?
Yes, Yes, as I point
Sorry
here,
about that.
the photo is probably the easiest way to point it out. So the parking alignment in the center of the plaza will stay exactly as it is. There's existing parking right here. We're just positioning the proposed auto parts building to line up right where the existing parking road is. There's some existing parking spaces right here that would be displaced, but we have plenty of room on the existing pavement to restripe some spaces to the rear for employee parking. Similar situation over here, where there is a double-barreled parking row right here, but those spaces can be moved to the existing pavement back here.
What are the requirements currently for,
Or for the parking spaces?
yeah, we're expecting that the auto parts store and the donut shop to add a lot of additional.
The existing supermarket requires 96 parking spaces. The drive-through coffee donut shop would require 11, the auto parts store 35, and the resale strip 24. So it's a total of 70 new parking spaces required on top of the 96 currently required, yet the property currently has 143 parking spaces. So we're only adding 23 parking spaces
So
net.
you're adding parking
We're adding parking
to that already.
But it's already,
to meet
it's already paved.
to meet the zoning.
If I'm not, if I'm not incorrect, it's not
That's
striped properly, but it's
another
paved.
thing that
Correct,
we probably need
correct.
to
So it's basically
look at.
restriping.
Restriping.
On the
Yes.
With modern day car stall size.
parking per square foot, you mean?
We're required one parking space per 200 square feet of floor area. Which, is, as Alan mentioned, is
And-
obsolete.
And the appropriate HP related to.
Yes, there are 5 existing handicap accessible spaces. We'll be adding 2 more, and that meets the state requirements.
And this area here, which is now currently wooded, is going to become paved, and there's a parking
Yes.
stalls here, so that's
Right.
the readjustment of the parking stalls.
Right. And the arrangement of the buildings that we selected creates more of a visual community, if you will, instead of haphazardly placing the buildings. Moving the buildings closer to the street and not having parking between this proposed auto parts building and the street allows for a better visual appearance coming off of Fitchburg Road. We're not proposing any changes to the 2 curb cuts. They've been there for 60 years and everybody knows where they are. They seem to be working fine.
Between the auto parts store and the street, you have a proposed water basin. Is that just going to be turf?
Yes, yes. Very similar to Anderson Funeral Home across the street.
So we're going to look at basically that from the street. The
Yeah.
aesthetics of the side of an auto parts store.
We can add some shrubbery, but where you see these dash lines
Yeah.
right here, we're limited on what we can.
Well, I was looking
yeah.
at that exactly.
Yeah, we're limited on what we can do there also because there's an existing drain line that comes through the parking lot, cuts across here and ties into the street drainage system. So we can't plant anything on top of that line.
Yeah. You also don't want something next to the building, which would, well, there's no windows on the side of the building.
Right.
It's just,
And also, we would have some concerns about site visibility if we planted too close to the street here for traffic
And
entering.
that's a transformer pad next to the building.
That's Worcester.
Oh,
That's how
sorry.
they're doing
Okay,
it.
I'm sorry.
We're proposing utilities a little bit differently coming in the side. There are existing water, gas, and sewer lines coming to serve the existing building that we're proposing to tap off of, so we would not have to cut into
But
the...
you do that on the private property.
On the private property, we would not have to cut into the new pavement on Fitchburg Road. There's an existing sewer easement that cuts across and serves the ABS Systems property next door. We have positioned the building, so we're avoiding that sewer line and avoiding the drain line over here, so it's a tight fit.
You're lucky you're here tonight, Mr. Economic Development Director.
Yes.
This will be our third auto parts store in a third of a mile long.
It is. I had an interesting conversation with my friend at Napa today on Park Street. And they're all, it's out there in their world, in their ecosystem, and so they all kind of know this.
Go to Watertown. I mean, seriously. Restaurants seem to bring in more restaurant business. I'm surprised that auto parts stores bring in more auto parts business, but.
And even as far as the coffee and donut shop,
Yeah.
the draw of this plaza will continue to be Shop and Save. It's just the largest retailer there. This type of location for a coffee donut shop will draw customers coming to the other businesses and off of the traffic on Fitchburg Road. And if anything, what we expect is it might actually alleviate some of the traffic at 21 Park Street where the existing Dunkin' Donuts is, because some of those customers, instead of going all the way down, will come off of Groton School Road or come off Fitchburg Road and pop in here.
I'm sure the owner of Dunkin' Donuts will appreciate that relief. I need some of those customers.
I'm surprised they haven't done it like Starbucks.
I should be careful what I say. I represented that project when it was built.
And I was wondering where the dumpsters and loading will be for each of these
Everything
buildings?
is in the back. The existing dumpsters are in the back here. We're showing proposed dumpsters off to the side here, so they're really hidden from the view. And if you look at the,
Place.
let me see, look at the photograph again, it'll be a little bit easier to see. The question always comes up about truck access. For a truck coming westbound, look at this white dashed line, would enter here, and this shows the path that the truck occupies once the semi starts to turn, the trailer is at an angle with the tractor. So it would come in through here, work its way around without interfering with any parking spaces, could back into the loading area for the Advanced Auto Store here, continue around the building to all of the existing loading areas and access areas and the existing dumpsters that are serving the Shop and Save building. So all of those facilities for the retail strip also would be to the rear, and likewise over here.
Oh, where for the donut shop is
We
the
would also-
dumpsters and loading?
We would also put dumpsters to the rear, back in this area.
Okay, and how far is that gonna be from, I mean, people live there at the,
At the motel.
yeah.
There's an existing screen of greenery here along the
Generous
property
word.
here. Yeah.
Does Ayer have a, there's state regulations?
On
For-
dump-
for,
for
uh,
dumpster placement?
No, times of loading. If you're gonna have trucks there at 3, 4, 5 a.m., right next to somebody's bedroom window.
Just as long as it's synchronized with the train whistles, it's okay.
It's,
Sorry.
This is a general business zoning district.
Yeah.
This motel isn't a general business zoning district, so we will maintain general business hours.
And this side's the main, this side is the,
It's also general business
it's
zoning.
the boiler company, not the boiler.
Yeah, it's a manufacturer.
Manufacturer of boilers, yeah.
You know.
and
used to
on
call us.
the other side, it's gonna be visible to the street, right? The dumpsters and loading,
The dumpster's on this side?
okay, over there,
Yeah, right here.
not visible to the street.
No.
Snow storage, snow removal.
Snow storage, we've got the landscape areas all around the snow storage. Existing area, this sheet, existing area right here in the back, the snow storage.
Any further questions from the
Small
board?
steps.
Just signage. Will it be a freestanding pedestal sign for the auto shop and the donut place, or will they be using the
pylon.
big primary pylon signs there for shop? Which is how we be treating them? Will it be signage affixed on the buildings in any way?
There's an existing sign here for Shop and Save,
Yes.
right in this location, sign on the front of the building. There will be signs on the front of each building for each use.
Which side on the auto building?
On the
will
auto
sign
building would be
on?
here.
It'll be
So-
so oriented into the parking.
So it would be very similar to this, there would be two signs, be very similar to this picture here.
Usually they're on one side,
Wait,
front and
So this would be facing Fitchburg Road.
All right,
There
so
would
there will be
sign
one
there,
on,
And one facing the parking lot here, and they would like to have a pylon sign up by,
okay, really, all three, huh?
They typically, well, they would follow the.
but they'll comply with whatever the
Arizona.
town requires.
And the ones in the building will be internally illuminated, I assume?
Yes,
Yes,
Internally illuminated individual letters,
yes,
yes.
right?
we require that.
Okay, good. Okay, on the donut shop, how will signage?
Gourmet Donuts operates in a similar
It's a manufacturing.
fashion.
Meaning,
I
will it have a
don't know what
freestanding?
gourmet donut shop is, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's a small chain. I think there's one in Littleton.
Is there a name gourmet donut?
Yeah, Gourmet
Yeah,
Donuts. There's one.
There you go.
One in Townsend. A couple of Fitchburg, Leominster. I believe West Boylston.
They're scratch, they make their.
It's a real thing, that's good, right?
Actually,
But-
yeah.
So will there be a freestanding again, pedestal sign? Will
I'm
be,
not sure what they're requesting yet,
Okay,
but
alright.
it would still be, on the building would still be the channel letter internal.
Okay. I'll just make an observation, which I think is really fantastic. What they're doing is, we often talk about, when we talk about downtown urban space, we say what makes a great square or park. It's not the square of the park, the volume of the space here. It's the buildings that frame and contain it that make a great space. So this is actually quite intriguing the way you've done this, so that the buildings are oriented here. You're creating a square, an internal, so I think it's, even though it's very auto-oriented, it's not pedestrian-oriented, but this corridor is not for pedestrian orientation.
We should also
So it's
point out
actually,
that
cool.
Anderson Funeral Home overflow parking has always occurred on this property, and Geronimo Properties has graciously allowed that and will continue to allow that because, again, even though zoning requires the numbers of parking spaces we're providing, it's unlikely that all of these spaces, particularly near the street, will always be used, so that would still be there.
So, and Alan's right, there isn't really a lot of pedestrian access, right? I know I just walked down
Yeah,
there
the sidewalk,
last week.
the sidewalk
and-
ends here at the intersection of Park Street and Fitchburg Road.
But now you're gonna be going through a couple businesses, like to walk down to the supermarket.
Oh,
drive
to
through
come,
traffic.
to come through here.
Right.
And that was going to be, next thing I was going to bring up.
I'm not even sure I crossed the street.
I
and
did
go
not.
Will you all, will the planning board should, and it's just my opinion from my office, you should consider, because now the site is very much more densely developed, and we do have an issue, a serious issue, and we all see it every day. A lot of many people from our neighborhoods here walk to the shopping center. I see it every day. Find the sidewalk where it runs on Park Street, but that sidewalk ends at the merging of the corner of Park Street and Fitchburg Road. We had an incident there actually last year. I was contacted. There was a gentleman on a motorized wheelchair type thing. He was going trying to get this, but he actually went off the curb and fell into the street in front of Tony's. There's no sidewalk. Very, very dangerous in the winter. I've seen people walking halfway on that street, so just with their food, and this is a national. When you introduce a supermarket into a dense urban neighborhood like this, you know people are going to be walking there. And the people that tend to walk to these supermarkets you tend to be more elderly people, all right, that don't have cars, or they tend to be very young people and young mothers. I've seen many young mothers with carriages and strollers walking down on Fitchburg Road, going to this. So, I would just say to consider, since they're doing this larger development, of requiring them to build a sidewalk along the frontage of their parcel here, knowing that down the road, we will be building a proper sidewalk from Park Street down to connect to the supermarket. Something to consider. Do you want them to do that link in the chain in front of there? This is a common, standard practice in site plan review of large intent developments like this. So, all right, it's something for you to think about. And I'll leave it at that. Otherwise, the taxpayers will be paying to build that sidewalk someday. Why? Because they built the supermarket there, and they know they're attracting people, so there's an obligation involved for the developer.
Well, we've talked about, when we talked with Paul DiGeronimo about this, the president of Geronimo Properties, is a coordinated approach for introducing a sidewalk onto the state highway would make more sense, rather than the developer doing it on the developer's property in front, because you may end up with a very circuitous sidewalk unless it's all planned accordingly.
Well,
so an easier way might be for Geronimo Properties to make a financial contribution towards the overall sideway project.
What I'd like to do, having actually worked with people who poured a sidewalk on West Main Street, is get with DPW, and knowing that he is, as the master planning committee is and the town is, in favor of the future of complete streets. Sidewalks are a part of that process. So this is a consideration to this project, But for right now, I want to hear what DPW says as to where that fits in the grand plan. Before I say to you, put a sidewalk in from here to here, because we actually did that on 800 feet of West Main Street. But again, it was in consideration with complete streets and
And the difference there is West Main Street is a town road, Fitchburg Road is a state
Right,
highway.
right.
Yeah, I know
Exactly.
exactly where it starts.
The key
but-
element there
and
is
that's
that
what
it
we-
has to be done in coordination with the state.
Yeah, the state highway starts near the police station on Park Street.
Yes.
You know, we don't want to venture into something where we find out that the state is going to be digging up the road 6 months after we put the sidewalk in. So that's why I say, yes, it's a consideration, we'll take it under advisement, but through the
And
channels
that's
of
why we
DPW
suggest
and state.
that the applicant would be willing to make a financial contribution towards a town project or a state
Right.
project.
Right, yeah,
So
certainly.
maybe that can be part of the actual site plan contract agreement of approval that, yeah, that.
Well, ultimately, I want to hear from DPW first.
Certainly.
You've recently submitted plans, I know, and I have yet, maybe it's because we're absent our administrator at this point in time, but I've yet to hear back formally from DPW, fire, police, et cetera, all the players. And-
Yeah, granted, I think we filed June 30th and the holiday and vacation time right after that. we
Right,
understand.
so I just need a little more time before we put it to a vote, but on the overview, I don't see a problem. I'll defer to my board members. Anything jump out at you that? Okay, good. Nothing jumps out.
Then also besides
From a
pedestrian
dimensional
access.
perspective or a zoning perspective, no.
In the
but-
front, I
Right.
was thinking of pedestrian access through, because
well, we are
particularly with
proposing-
the drive-in, and a lot of people come from that side.
We are
They
proposing to
get their coffee and
remove
they-
pavement here, but we could leave a strip here as a walkway
Just a walk, there you go.
along here
Yeah.
and
Safe
have it
for everyone, for
have
the
it
young people, the old
connected
folks.
over this way.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I do know that DiGeronimo has long been a good neighbor in town. Harken back to when, for example, with assembling 4th of July parades, we used to meet in the parking lot. Quite frankly, we hope to do that again because Ayer in the future is going to get bigger and bigger and better. And, so, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything further from the board? Okay. So
So we return on
I would say August 3rd. Let's see what comes back from formally from DPW and/or, okay? Thank you very much,
Thank
Dave.
you. And who would be forwarding comments to us as they receive them from police and fire and so forth, so we could address them ahead of time? Is that something?
Well, Robert and I are working that out as we speak. So
Okay, great, thank you.
formally, me, informally, somebody will call you soon. But if you have anything that comes up, I think you've got my number. I know you know where I live.
We have very good close communication between the Office and.
Yeah.
So yes, we'll.
So again, thank you very much for the endeavor. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you all.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you, we appreciate your time this evening.
I will put you on August 3rd just for follow-up,
Appreciate that.
probably first. Okay, moving along
I had a
to,
question for the applicant. Is there any public input allowed? Yeah. Is there any public input allowed?
I'm sorry?
Is there any public questions allowed at this point in time on this project?
Yeah,
I was going to ask if there was a consideration to an improvement to the site lighting, if there's an electrical site lighting plan required by planning board, since the density of the lot has changed so substantially, and I think the lighting that's there is pretty ancient. Wouldn't you consider that to be a substantial improvement?
the street lighting?
The parking lot
lighting?
Okay, if you look on page 4
I wasn't sure if it was
of the
included or
letter. No, we're not proposing any changes to the light fixtures at this point. The positions of the poles work with the parking pattern in here. There may be an upgrade to the fixtures to LED fixtures, much the way the town has been upgrading the fixtures on the town streets to LED.
Okay.
Very good question.
But, you know, pedestrian
Good.
traffic
Can I see
through the
that
parking lot
packet?
could change with the new building locations and whatnot.
Oh, you
You
didn't
know,
leave
I
that.
don't know if you have to consider any site
He
lighting,
has-
walkways,
I
or
don't-
anything like that.
No, because where the
It all
poles,
works.
yeah, where the poles
This
are
is other
positioned
stuff.
here.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Alright.
right here
Do we not have?
and here, they really would generate enough light to cover the entire area.
There's lighting on the buildings as well.
So were you asking about like,
Well, I just
Not bulbs, but the
typically,
actual
I thought
updating fixtures?
with that amount of density changing on the site, it might change the site lighting requirements.
okay.
Steve, did you give one of those packets to Sandy?
I'm sorry, did I?
Did you give one of those packets to Sandy?
We submitted 12 sets of documents.
No, but I mean, the packet you were referring to, when you said, look on page 4?
Yes, yeah, that was submitted.
Those were submitted.
Yeah, 12 copies of this were submitted.
Okay, okay, good.
Yeah,
Find
Carly,
them.
Carly received them from us.
Okay, good,
I bet you we're gonna have them in a minute.
okay.
Sorry about the breakdown, Steve. Appreciate your patience.
Thank you very much.
Ken, did you get to address your question as to Article 47 in the bylaw? Did you want to do that? Okay, I can tell you that,
I'm waiting for another opinion on that.
okay, I can tell you that Air Solar One did have it reviewed by way of GPR, the site engineer for the
They typically cover the requirements.
LSP, as it were, the licensed site professional.
The question, that typically was done under the wetland requirement, in the jurisdictional area of the wetland.
Right, yeah,
The question was-
I just wanted you to know, I did follow up with Mark Wetzel, and he said that there was an oversight by way of the LSP on the site, so. Okay, well, again, we're down to administrative announcements. Basically, that means page 2, which means August 3rd is our next meeting. Unless we need to meet sooner, which I don't think we do. What do you think? August 3rd, good for?
Yes,
I'll
I'm
take
sorry.
silence as consent.
I'm sorry, yes, August 3rd is our normal monthly meeting. It's the first Thursday of the month, correct?
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay,
And 6:15 is
August
our start, yep.
3rd. So you can look for August 3rd to see again 48 Central Avenue, based on their request. You'll see Steve Mulaney, who just came before us on Di Geronimo. And hopefully you'll see Judy Barrett.
Yeah, Judy said 6 p.m.
Yep. So, having said that, between myself, Robert, and Carly, when she gets back, if you could encapsulate both of your minutes to me over the next day or two, that would be good.
Mr. Chair, I'm going to, honestly, I've taken quite sketchy notes. I don't know how soon
Well,
it's available.
we'll put it together and I'll view the tape and we'll.
Yeah,
we'll-
I'm not sure how exactly, because
Well-
I was getting involved. I'm not sure how quickly the tape becomes available, but I was going to use it to,
Yeah, no,
jog my
just
memory a
send
little
me,
bit.
send me your notes on the matter,
Yeah.
if you would, and I'll view the tape and we'll put together some minutes
And
as a
then-
result.
and then what I'm going to tell you is it won't come to you until close to the end of next week. I leave on vacation
Okay.
after this meeting.
Well, again, send them to me as soon as
Yeah,
possible.
I will. I will.
Is all I can ask. Again, we're kind of coping with, we're coping. Okay, so yeah, send them to me as soon as possible and we'll view the tape and we'll put together, because I need to defer June 1 minutes until then as well. I have the draft copy of notes taken, but I need to put together a set of minutes. And I'm working with Robert for the admin support to that effort. So
Actually, I saw that it was posted.
hopefully August 3rd will get us all caught up on minutes. Okay? Any further questions from the board?
The other thing is I'm going to be on vacation the second week of September. So are we still on track to stay the first week?
We have a meeting the first date.
Well, we're
The
projecting,
public hearing, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
we're projecting September 7th as August 3rd and then September 7th. And then October 23rd.
Okay, so that's perfect for me.
So that should work for you, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions at all from the board then? let me call for an adjournment, motion to adjourn.
Before we, I know I wasn't here, but I wanted a little idea of what happened with the Global Mobile.
We approved the one-year extension to November 6th of 2018, I
Yeah.
believe.
Their reason for good cause, or their argument for good cause, is they're rebranding their stations.
Okay.
They're coming for a smaller footprint station, same amenities, and a smaller, more modern,
Yeah, very nice looking proposal.
compared to what we got, it's much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's another
Would we be revisiting
gas
having
station.
a outside consultant
Yeah,
or not necessarily, because it's going smaller, we wouldn't need to do that?
No, we're not going to invoke the consultant bylaw
Okay.
based on the fact we're hiring a new planner soon. So
Yeah.
before that deal is done, the new planner will bite off on anything we need. We don't need to get into the consultant bylaw again, I don't believe.
Okay, is
Yeah.
it above ground or in ground
he,
tanks?
Is it
he
what, I'm
wasn't
sorry?
that, I'm gonna say the site, okay, he wasn't that clear at this point. He has an artist's rendition
Mhm.
of an elevation of the side of a building.
Mhm.
That's probably not exactly the one that's going on the site,
Okay.
okay? They're building two of them in here in Massachusetts, one similar to what he had, another one which doesn't have all the amenities of the picture he had. I thought it was interesting that he showed us a nighttime picture of the proposed, of the acceptance station, and a daytime picture of the new one. It was marketing. They marketed to us what a new station would look like. Our standard station, flat top station with canopies out front. This was just not such a flat top building, more glass, had a peaked roof above the doorway, a different look and feel to it. Made you feel better to look at it,
Okay.
but you were standing in front of the
Outside
building,
seating.
you couldn't see the canopies, you couldn't see the diesel. It was a picture of a portion of the property.
Yeah.
And what he was saying is they're working on a new construction process. They'll have to rework utilities for the site and stuff like that. They still want to maintain the diesel lane going around the building. They still want to maintain the drive up and all that stuff. Just doesn't have it yet. It will be a smaller footprint
Okay.
at some point. But I think if I can say for the board, he basically came to us saying, we're changing directions from a marketing standpoint. Would you please be patient?
Yeah, the question from the board really came from define good cause. They sent us a correspondence asking for an extension based on good cause. I said, tell me your definition of good cause.
I mean, we've approved the
And
project already.
to our satisfaction, that's where we stayed channeled on why should we grant you an extension. Fact is, you're going to submit all new plans, so.
Okay. No, I was just concerned just because this whole room was filled at one point in time with
Oh, yeah,
letters.
yeah, they're very,
So, and I know
yeah.
most of you are new and weren't there
Right.
at that time period.
Well,
But
yeah, I got the whole folder,
it was a
so.
page and a half full of names, so I just didn't want you guys to be surprised about it.
Yep.
A bunch of people came in with
Actually,
not being re-notified.
East Main Street, 41 East Main, brought people in.
Yeah,
Their concerns were safety-based, which was interesting, safety and traffic-based. And
They vocalize concerns on it.
traffic pattern and,
traffic pattern. I can't disagree with that. I think it's going to be a real change for that neighborhood. But unfortunately, our responsibility ends at the boundaries of the property.
right.
And that's,
Well, that's great news
Okay.
about a planner, though.
So we will be sending out
Very nice.
notices for Global when they come back.
Yes, definitely,
Okay.
definitely. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, right now it's just an extension of the time period so that their application did not expire. Okay, well, I thank you all very much, and I will see you August 3rd.
motion to adjourn.
Yes,
Okay.
motion
We stopped.
adjourned. I need a second.
Thanks.
Okay, seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.